Hello, friends. Welcome back. Season rankings are out, and my Alliance Rogue Tech is ranked 40th in Platinum 2. That puts us in the top 100 of all alliances. Very happy with that. Today we're taking on B+, Blood Plus, which should probably be B positive, but, whatever. We're going to go Ride or Die with Void today, so I'm bringing on Omega Red for the debuff damage increase and also Vision, because there is a suspicious-looking mutant on my path on the Arc Overload node. So going in, I was expecting either a Havoc, which I had fought there in the first war this season, or maybe a Mr. Sinister. But if it was a Havoc, I was going to bring Vision. I don't know, maybe decide when I get there. My Vision's only at 455, so maybe not suited to take down a 565 Havoc on that Arc Overload. But the power drain and the heal block could probably, do the trick. So we'll see what happens when we get there. In the meantime, this is a Proxima, as you can see on the Poison Immune, Bleed Immune Limber path. Proxima, not much going on. This is just a diversity play here. Her special one is pretty easy to dodge back. Just the timing on the ground burst thing that she does when she stabs down can be a little tricky. It's a lot less tricky than the Special 2, which has, I think, 3 or 4 hit components to it, and takes up a much wider distance. So her Special 1, she pretty much stands in place. So in terms of making sure you're not backing yourself up against the wall, Special 1 and baiting that one is the way to go. So, all right, next up we have a Heimdall on Power Start 1 Plagued Mine. I always forget that Heimdall does not have a persistent charge when he is unduped. So I was a little caught off guard by this. This is also the corner node, but we don't have to worry about that, of course, because of Void. The only thing we do have to worry about is A, do not push him to his Special 2 because you cannot evade it, and B, you cannot punish his Special 1. Otherwise, unless you're feeling lucky, you have, I think it's like a 20 or 25% chance to get parried and auto-blocked if you try and punish him while he has True Strike active. So because we have infinite parries on this node, it's really not that big of a deal to just take a parry after the special rather than going in and punish it. We take a negligible amount of block damage, but it's worth it to not take a full combo to the face after getting parried. So the other thing I always keep in mind about Heimdall is that his swipe distance is pretty wide. It reminds me a lot of Guillotine, probably because they both have those really long swords. So you kind of have to be off your guard there. And you can see right there, I tried to dex back, but the game thought it was a block, and that will happen pretty frequently. I can see myself getting back against the wall, but it doesn't matter because Heimdall goes down. Void close to max health after 2 fights. Very happy with that. Alright, so now the big guns. So this is a max Domino. Sig was like 100 or so not too bad, but not too good either. Domino is risky when you play with Void because she can cause your debuffs to fail if you're unlucky when you throw them. But more importantly, she can cause your Fear of the Void to straight up fail. So I am using I am using all medium boosts here, and then I pop an advanced power boost so that I can get a debuff on her right away before either of us have a chance to be lucky or unlucky. Now I've tried, I don't remember in this fight specifically, recently I've pretty much just given up on trying to parry Domino because the block breaking with her is a huge problem. Kabam doesn't seem to want to acknowledge that it's a problem, so I doubt it will ever get fixed. So when I'm playing against Dominoes in Story Quest or Event Quest or Variant, I will try and do the shallow intercept method. But I don't know, it looks like I've just stuck with parries and careful not to try and dex out of them here. So I've got 1 Petrify up, which is great. So the buffet is cut in half, which is awesome. And then I'm trying to, again, as I said before, you want to try and wait until you are not unlucky and that she's not lucky before you throw your debuffs on her. Otherwise, they can completely just fail to proc. So you'll see here one of the worst things that can happen when you play Domino. Fear of the Void fails to trigger, despite neither of us being unlucky or lucky. That's just her base ability accuracy reduction at work there. I think it's 15% base reduction. So even when I'm not unlucky, I'm still unlucky, I guess. So a little bit concerning there because you rely on Fear of the Void to not only give Void a huge damage bonus, but you rely on it to get the debuffs up even faster. So she breaks my block there. I wasn't trying to dex back. I think I'm still going to be okay because I've got the damage bonus from excuse me, from Omega Red, and I've got the medium boosts on. So she's melting pretty hard now. Now I'm waiting for Fear the Void to proc again, and yes, it triggers the second time, but I miss a dex, I take a blocked hit, so now I'm backed up into the corner. A little bit of a problem. So I risk the blocked hits, hoping that she won't cancel out of the block stun and throw her special. She throws her special 2, and I nail her with the special 2 of my own and win the day. So pretty tough fight. Couple mistakes on my part, one bad block break. Other than that, no worries. Alright, so again, this is the 4th time out of 4 wars this season that we will be fighting an Iron Man Infinity War. Going to go up and heal up Void. Oh, potion use just, it hurts. It hurts to see that many potions go into Void. So another benefit of bringing Vision along, you'll see, is that Fear of the Void procs at the beginning of the fight. So I don't think the Fear of the Void that you get from the synergy causes the debuffs to proc faster. I don't know if that's intended or if it's a bug, but it's always worked like that. However, you do get the damage bonus for Void from that Fear of the Void, and you can see, part of this is the extra boost that I've gotten, but we're 30 seconds into the fight, and he's already half dead. So this helps me because normally you take a lot of block damage when you do this fight with Void. So this is saving me more potions in the long run. And as the great Brian Grant once said, and I've always tried to keep this in mind, boosting saves potions, boosting saves revives, boosting saves units and your resources. So spending 30, 90 units on a boost can save you much more units in the long run. So there you go. About 1 minute 10 seconds, Iron Man goes down. That is much better than the 2.5 to 2:45 it usually takes. Alright, so you can see the persistent charge there. I know it's not a Havoc. I punch it into the calculator, and it's a Sabertooth. So really a good matchup as far as Void is concerned. I didn't end up needing Vision at all. Kind of happy. Sabertooth is a pretty easy fight. On Arc Overload, that's just extra healing, and Void gives, nothing. He doesn't give a care in the world about your healing. He'll just turn it right off. So I'm just going to keep baiting the S1, try not to get tagged and killed like I did by the Sabertooth back in War 1. So a little bit of a redemption fight for me here, I guess. So, I try, when I know I'm pushing him over a bar of power, I try and do only 4 hits. Sometimes if you end with a medium, he can catch you a bit off guard with the special one if he decides to throw it immediately after you finish. So there you go. So unless I have a special, then I'll throw the special right into it afterwards. So the further away you are from Sabertooth, really the easier it is to dodge his special one. I think he will leap the whole way across the screen there. There's a good example. But obviously the further he has to jump, the more warning you get, and therefore the easier it is to block the second half of the attack. So Sabertooth, Arc Overload, no worries whatsoever, and we are moving on. So my gamble with going full-on Void today has paid off. That actually allowed me to use Blade. I think we did map 6 on this day, so I usually take Blade into map 6. For a couple fights in there, so this was nice. This was the first time I really felt like my roster could support both War Defense, War Attack, and Map 6 all on the same day. So that was good to know for future. Won't always be the case. If there's like a villain on that buffet node, I would almost always bring Blade just because it's far easier to get the 40% damage bonus with him. So this is a Green Goblin. Not much else to say here. We see him on this node all the time. Last war he was on here. He doesn't want to be throwing his specials here, so I'm already backed up against the wall at the beginning of the fight. Going to try and push him away. Hit into his block a few times here. He backs off. Pull off a nice little intercept. Block. Now I'm going to back to baiting S2, but I'm slowly getting pushed back to the wall yet again. I got really unlucky with the debuffs today. Petrify was the last two were really to proc. So I kind of had to hold my specials. Now I'm safe. Nail him with the S2, get the Dark Sting on there for extra degen. And then I think he does end up activating degen on himself with a special one here close to the end of the air. There we go. So the great thing about Void's S2, and usually when you play Void, you just spam S1, but the Dark Sting is a debuff, so it degens him. The degen actually gives him like double degen, I think, which is great. So unfortunately, we did go on to lose this war. The alliance we played today, Blood Plus, very good. They kept their death count pretty low for a majority of the war. It was pretty close toward the end of the war when they were pretty much done and we had a few fights left. So good war to you guys over in B+. Maybe we'll get a chance to get some revenge on you later this season. Other than that, thanks for watching and have a great weekend.